Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach and Off channel. In this video we're going to review Game Week 19 and look at preview Game Week 20 of the 2023-24 Fantasy Premier League season. So an average week for us, quite literally, with 38 points, which was the average. Pretty well bang in the middle of the Game Week rank. And a slight decrease overall, down to 40,000, or just outside the top 40,000 K. So, all in all, okay week. If we have a look at the team and how it went, so Dubravka in goal got us a 2-point return. And as we'll see soon, it probably wasn't the right decision. Gusto, which was our trade-in, or one of our trade-ins this last week, covering all the defensive issues that all the outs that we had. Got 8 points, so I believe was an assist, and 3 bonus points. So pretty handy there from him. Pyro with 5 is okay in a game where they conceded 4 goals, so must have also had an assist. Lovely, 2 bonus points. We'll take that. Trippier with a point, Gabriel with a point. That's okay. We captained Salah, who blanked, which was a bit disappointing. Son got an assist, so we did lose a few points there. But other than that, Richarlison only 1 point. So what happened there? Yellow card. Gordon with 1 point, Jackson with 2, and Solanke with 6. So Haaland didn't end up playing, so that's why we got Jackson's score. Areola in goal would have been the way to go with 10 points. West Ham have looked really good lately, and definitely eyeing off some of their assets in the upcoming fixtures. Palmer was suspended, and Kabore didn't look like he played either. So a bit of an injury there for Kabore too. So I guess in terms of this game week, we're starting to run ourselves into a bit of a corner. So we have a free transfer. Ideally, we'd love to bank that free transfer so we get 2 next week when, in all likelihood, Son and Salah become unavailable. However, it looks like Haaland is still out, maybe available next week, so we have to try and hang on next week. But the other thing that snuck up, and affects us because we've got 3 of them, but the fixture for Newcastle is pretty ordinary. The next 3, they've got Liverpool, Man City, and Villa, who I think are sitting second or third on the table, third I think, behind Arsenal and the Mighty Reds. Just throw that in there for a bit of chat. So even though it's a 3 on the fixture list, obviously Villa are playing really well, and it is away at Villa. After that, it's a nice run. Luton, Forest, Bournemouth, Arsenal thrown in there. It does sort of open up then, but it is a really tough period at the moment. So, the question is, can we afford to hold all 3 Newcastle assets, as well as these trading options? In terms of trade-in options, you've obviously got Trent. If you're getting rid of Haaland, because he is now losing value. So I guess the other issue with Son and Salah is because we've had them for so long. You can see Son's price is 9.9, Salah's is 13.3. So there is a chance that it will cost us more to get them back in. Assuming a lot of people do trade them out, their price will dip. So the other argument is you could go early and trade them out, and obviously bank that extra cash, hoping that everyone else will get rid of them for the few game weeks they're unavailable. So decision to be made there. I guess if Haaland's out, we really can't afford to hold both. So we trade at least one. And if so, you'd imagine it'd be Salah because just he's got more money that we can distribute. But then obviously the flip side is it's more money to bring him back in. So a lot of big decisions to make. But I got a bit sidetracked there. In terms of trade back-ins, you could trade in Alexander-Arnold, playing Newcastle this week, but it is at home, which is nice. And then I just realised there was a massive gap. I didn't realise that. Is this the same across the... Huh. Well, what do you know? Didn't realise there was such a big gap. Oh, 15th of Jan. So do they not play game week 21? Or is it just that's how late it is? Right on. So a couple weeks break after this one. So even more reason to sort of hang on to the trade. There might be a wild card around the corner too with the new year. That's another thing we can consider. Um, but we'll try for a third time to talk about the possible trading options. So defenders, obviously Alexander Arnold is a solid option. Saliba has a great run of fixtures coming up. Obviously I've got Gabriel, so I like the saving that we have there. Zinchenko, if you like the sort of more wing back option there. Virgil's probably you know kind of only good for clean sheet, occasional goal, but probably a bit overpriced. Anderson, has sort of dipped from where he was at the start of the season. You can see not too much returns there in the last 8. Um, Tarkovsky and Mylenko have been pretty popular, but again, a little dip in form from Everton. Okay run coming up, I suppose. The interesting one, if he's probably not even on the first page because he has been out for a while, is Stupinan. So made his return, played 45 minutes and scored a goal. Did concede 2 in that time, but that's okay. But they would just be easing him back in from injury, and the West Ham game's a bit tricky. But after that, Wolves, Luton, Palace, 3 pretty decent fixtures. So he's definitely one to put on the watch list for the future. And you could potentially trade out Trippier to a Stupinan, make 2 million to upgrade elsewhere, and that definitely crossed my mind because if I can go Trippier and Gordon, so just to show what it would look like, get the Stupinan out, and then in the midfielders, we've been sitting waiting for a chance to get Bowen in. This would present the perfect chance. Whether we take the free hit or not remains to be seen. But it does put us slightly ahead of schedule in terms of what we do with Salah and Son once they're out. Um, and potentially means we could hold on to one or the other because Bowen was going to be one of the options to bring in for these guys. Um, the other option I hadn't really considered, so probably Saka I think would be the front runner in all sense. So you could do Saka to Son and hold Salah, or obviously Saka to Salah, and then you could upgrade Porro to Alexander Arnold. You know, upgrade Jackson to Watkins. Those sort of options. Even upgrade a goalkeeper if you wish. But yes, with the deadline on tomorrow night, Australian time, seems to be a fairly long game week. Guess maybe just the teams we looked at playing super late, but that's okay too, I suppose. Um, yeah, so it doesn't give us a great deal of time to make the choice. I think as much as possible, we're just going to hang on to the trade. Try to use the 2 over the long break. So what the team will look like this week is, I think we have to get rid of Dubravka now that Ariol is back in, I guess, in favour. So he'll definitely slot into the goal. Palmer's back, so again, just because of the matchup, I think we rest Trippier and potentially rest Gordon. Oops. So then, chances are Haaland won't play, but we will slot him in on the off chance he does get up. But he won't be considered for the captaincy. I think we've got to go with Son as captain. Just Bournemouth is a nicer matchup than Newcastle, as good as Salah is. Um, And then it's just, I think maybe we will back Trippier in if we need to potentially. Uh, no, actually, I think Liverpool will score. So I think we'll back Gordon in. Potential for an attacking return, perhaps. But, backing against my team, I don't really want to. But got to go with the head over the heart, I think. So we'll save the team. So I think that's a play for this week. Um, and it gives us another chance just to reassess. Got two trades going into the international break. Um, and yeah, so, you know, we'll roll the dice and see how it goes. There's no need to panic, I don't think. Um, and, even if it's for 1 week, we make a couple of trades and then we have to pull the wild card to fix up a couple of the other picks, well, then so be it. But yeah, I think for now that's how we're going to run with the team. So I'll just get that in frame. But yeah, as always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Obviously, give us a like if you're enjoying the FPL content. Subscribe for all of the fantasy content. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.